Well, after 2 terms in office, Governor Granholm has just 7 months left until her successor is chosen.
This morning marks her final appearance at the Cadillac Governor's Breakfast. Kaz and Corey are there live, and we understand the governor is with you now.
Hey guys, well, we're honored to be joined by Governor Jennifer Granholm. Governor, I want to start with a Supreme Court decision yesterday. Again, for the second time, they have denied emergency closure of 2 locks in Illinois to prevent Asian carp from getting into Lake Michigan. President Obama has pledged $78.5 million. We don't know how that's going to be spent. What comes next for Michigan?
Well, what they're going to be doing, and believe me, we have been fighting on behalf of the Great Lakes to shut these down, and we're hopeful that this is not the end of the story. In fact, we're not going to make it be the end of the story. They need to separate the Great Lakes system from the Mississippi River system, which is what exactly those locks represent. In the Mississippi River, all the way up, they've got these Asian carp, and they are voracious, they are damaging, they damage that ecosystem. We don't want them to damage the Great Lakes. So what the Obama administration has done is pledged that they're going to, until they can do DNA testing again, they have to let it warm up a little bit. Actually, it's getting to that point now where they can do it. We want to make sure that there are no carp on this side of the lock. The minute there is any DNA or evidence of carp, again, on this side of the lock, we're going right back at it.
Let's shift to education. Michigan did not get the race to the top dollars.
The first round.
In the first round.
Right, we're going back.
Right, I know we're going back. There's continuing that budget wrangling. For parents out there, for educators, what do we tell them? What comes next for the state of Michigan's educational system?
Well, there's 2 things. I mean, first of all, Race to the Top is about elevating our standards and making sure we're focusing on, is this child meeting expectations, which are higher expectations than we've ever had before. So there's one on the actual academics, and then there's another focus on the funding. Now, the Race to the Top has both pieces. So we changed our laws to raise the standards and to focus on evaluating those who are teaching our kids based upon how the kids are doing. But what we need now is to make sure that we've got adequate funding to fund these higher standards. So that's what we're focused on, both inside the state and going after Race to the Top round 2.
We're talking about education reform there. Let's switch to another reform. This more on the national scale, but tying it to Michigan. You are the Attorney General here. Now our own current Attorney General, Mike Cox, has joined a group from across the country to fight the national health care reform that was just passed. Tell us, what do you think of that, and how do you see the healthcare system as it's overhauled now affecting residents here in Michigan?
I completely disagree with the Attorney General, and I'm not sure who his client is, because the Attorney General has the governor and the executive branch of government as his client. He's certainly not representing the young people who will be able to be on their parents' health care insurance now until they're 26. He's certainly not representing the people who will not be kicked off of health care because of pre-existing conditions which this reform fixes. He's certainly not representing the folks under Medicare who will be able to pay less for their prescription drugs under this health care provision. He's not representing the small businesses who will be faring better because they'll get a tax credit under this. I'm not sure who he's representing, but I fundamentally disagree with what he's done, and I'm asking him to file a brief on my behalf, on the behalf of Michigan, because we are going to do much better under this bill. The citizens are going to do much better under this bill, and we want it to happen.
We've hit a lot of policy. Let's just talk about our breakfast here this morning. It's your final one. A lot of kids involved with this, as they do here. What do you like to say to those kids today and to the kids all across northern Michigan who are watching this?
What we want them to know is that Michigan is in the middle of this economic transformation. Obviously, we have been reliant and we love our manufacturing sector, but we have to add new sectors, and that means we need workers for those sectors. That means we need skill for those sectors. So getting these kids to realize that they have to go to college, whether it's to get a technical or vocational certification or a community college degree or a 4-year university. The times have changed, and they've got to go and upskill themselves, and to let them know that we want them to be part of building the next Michigan. We want them to make sure that if they go away to college or if they come here to go to college, we want them to come back home, and we want them to help build an economy here, be entrepreneurs, start their own business, help us to diversify Michigan's economy.
Thank you so much to Governor Granholm for joining us here this morning. Now we'll let her get into the breakfast, talk to those kids, and to the business leaders here in the Cadillac area, guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Michael.